So obviously Devin Haney and Lomachenko have had a back and forth on Twitter for a while. All the guys at that weight have been getting at each other for some time. So that's nothing new. That wouldn't even be news. It wouldn't even make my radar raise. Oh, really? People are still chatting shit. Shocking. But this one, Devin Haney replying to Vasyl Lomachenko, I will never lose to a white boy in my life. I don't care what nobody got to say. I can't no white boy beat me on any day of the week. Fight a white boy 10 times, I'm going to beat him 10 times. Okay. Now, those old boxing heads, or even people who took my advice a couple years back and have gone through the archives of some of the great fights, and you will stumble upon some of the great press conferences, remember Bernard Hopkins making this same type of claim. I'm not saying a white boy can beat you, or if he does, he beats you because he's a white boy, or if you win, you beat him because you're a black guy. What I am saying is you don't want to be calling out all white boys at the same time.
I find it, when I first read it, I'm like you, I'm like, huh? And I mean, you know me, Rahim, I hate anytime race is the topic. I hate it. Like, it just boils my blood, you know? Like, I just think it has nothing to do with it. If, you know, you have to, everything's circumstantial, isn't it? How someone was raised, what environment they were in. I mean, for crying out loud, I don't know what half them Russians are doing, but you see videos of them wrestling bears and eating all types of meats and stuff. So I don't know what they're, or how they are raised, but I think the environment has everything to do with how someone is as a fighter. Also, you know, their training methods and how dedicated they are to the sport. So, I mean, when you look at somebody like Vasyl Lomachenko, and you can agree with me on this, like, he's different. He's different. His training methods are different. Him and Usyk do things I have never, ever, ever seen fighters do. So, I don't know. I can't co-sign on that tweet just because I don't like when people bring up race, but you can't somebody based on their skin color as to how good or not good they are as a fighter. You can't.
I don't have a problem with the racism of it all. That's part and parcel of the boxing world and history. Not that everybody's racist before you guys go nuts, but boxing does have cultural roots, geographic roots. Like the Mexicans come in with the waving the Mexican flag, you know, say they all love the exact same song. I don't understand that part, but I like the song too, so I get it. They all seem to come into the same song. When Floyd's trying to wind him up, he does the ring walk with the sombrero on. Like, and sometimes it crosses the line. I get
wrong with somebody representing the country that they come from, but to generalize, he's not saying, you know, no Russian's gonna beat me. He said no white man is gonna beat me. So,
and that's where I have the problem. It's like you don't want to be calling out all white boys at the same time. It's like if you're going to play the Super Bowl, you don't want to be like, you know, no DB can stop me, because then every DB is going to put that up in his locker, and his whole game is going to be about stopping you. Like, just like you're prideful and whatever it is about you that you think, hey, no, I'm from Detroit, or I'm from, you know, New York, and we're Brooklyn, and nobody can beat Brooklyn fighters and all that shit. We've been hearing that from the beginning of time. But if you make a race thing and you say nobody in this race can beat you, you just up everybody in that race's game by 2 times. They're going to train harder for you. They're going to see that as like their racial pride on the line. Can you imagine if Lomachenko was like, yo, I know, you know, I'm going to go to 140. I'm going to go to 140. But you know what? No colored guy's going to beat me. I don't care.
It also alienates an audience, doesn't it? Because people who are fans of yours, and then they say something about, you know, your race, your ethnicity, then it kind of triggers them a little bit. Even if he didn't intend to, which I don't believe he was intending to do that, but I think that it hurts him. It hurts his image. It hurts, people who want to follow him because they're going to always go back to that comment and go, oh, he's racist. And that's how people are going to perceive it. It does not matter. If I went off and said something about one particular race, I would be perceived as racist.
And to be fair, like, black people will get more leeway on this. Like, a white boy could not say, no black boy is going to beat me. No, no black fight. No, you can just say black boy. You'd be like, no black fight ever beat me. We'd be having a different conversation. He'd definitely be racist. This is unacceptable. Let's find the guy. Like, we'd be going nuts. But you got to remember, Haney comes from the Mayweather school. And not that Mayweather trained him, but you can see in the way he does his business and the way he presents himself that he is definitely the next generation after Floyd that grew up like idolizing the Mayweather style. Mayweather would say he didn't, but would say something like that. Like I said, with him doing the ring walk with the sombrero, being the bad guy or the villain or the one who says the thing that you're not supposed to say does sell tickets.
But we are in a different era right now. We're in an era of sensitivity. Okay?
We are racial distancing, Michelle.
When we go back to the Mike Tyson days and half the shit he said is very controversial if someone were to say it today. It's a different time. Unfortunately, whether you meant it a certain way or not, people are going to perceive it that way. So,
all right. Well, it does beg the question, though. Does anybody beat Devin Haney? Yeah, because he's getting a lot of stick, obviously, for this comment, but he's also getting a lot of stick for not having, and it's not his fault, but not having won that WBC title in the traditional fashion. Right. There was a vacated title. You can just read out. It was a vacated title, and he got blessed with it because the guy holding the title, Lomachenko, was elevated to franchise champion or another made-up thing that the WBC does. And so he kind of got screwed out of his opportunity to win that title in the ring as a champion should.
And to be fair, he did. He did want to. He had been calling out, Lomachenko. So that, needs to be clarified. It's not like, he hadn't tried prior to that happening.
Now, I mentioned Floyd, and I think that Devin was really modeling himself after Floyd in a major way. And it sounds like Floyd has chimed in. I'm sure he watches the show. He's probably at home in the mansion, got his people around him.
Haney tweeted, he said, I'm not racist and I never will be a racist. I'm chasing greatness. #
I'm not a racist. I never will be a racist. I'm chasing greatness. # undefeated. I rest my case. I mean, that could have come out of Floyd's diary.
I literally don't believe that he's racist, but you can see where the tweet has a undertone to it that gives someone enough room to make their own opinion about it.
It's a wildly racist comment, but you don't have to have been a racist to make it. And yes, I would say that if it was a white guy too, although nobody would listen to me. In fact, they'd be calling me a sellout if I did that because they just don't have the room based on history to be able to even tread even anywhere close to that line. But I think Haney's trying to stir the pot. He's trying to force the fight. Like, okay, money won't do it. We got these broadcast issues. Who's in what camp? Where are we supposed to fight? Clearly, Lomachenko's happy to take that so-called elevated franchise status. So he's trying to get at him any way he could. I don't think that the white boy thing is really going to work on Lomachenko. He probably have been better off. He had said, no Ukrainian is going to beat me. That would probably get under his skin a lot quicker than the white boy thing. And he is calling down the thunder. Like, I'm not picking a winner.
It's no secret Devin can't stand, Lomachenko. Anytime you do an interview with him, he'll go off for like 3-4 minutes straight before he asks the next question, because he has a lot to say about that. He has a lot. He feels a certain way about Lomachenko, you know, not giving him any credit, not giving him the time, basically saying you need to do more to get the fight. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that was his shot at greatness. He was denied an opportunity to be great. And, you know, every day, every month, every unfortunate year that will go by that he hasn't had that opportunity, Lomachenko will get older. What if Teofimo Lopez goes in there and handles his business? If I was Devin Haney, I would be sick to my stomach if I had to watch Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko. All I'd be thinking is, man, I could have did that. That's my moment of glory. That's my moment to shine.